Hello students, in this video we are going to take up the language topic, and that is agreement of verb with the subject. Now here when we are using a verb along with a subject, we need to use the verb in such a way that it agrees with the number of the subject. That means if the subject is in plural, then the verb will be taken as in the plural word, and if the subject is in the singular, and then verb will also be taken in the singular word. But here there are certain conditions that are given to it when and where you have to use verb in the plural form or in the singular form. We will be taking down those particular points, and accordingly I'll be giving you an exercise to do at the end of this module, and that will be your entire study of verb in agreement with the subject. We might continue with various other exercise that will be all your assignments, but first of all, let's take up the important points that we have to consider while using the verb in the sentence. So when there are two or more singular subjects in a particular sentence and they are joined with the verb, and we can say that the plural is used in the verb is used in the plural form. So two or more subjects joined together with and will have a plural verb. For example, you can write Mohan and Sohan have passed. So have is used for the plural, has must have been for one person, but here we will use Mohan and Sohan have. Better example for this is he and I are good friends. It is not he and I is, it will be are. Then next is, sometimes two subjects are basically regarded as representing one idea only. In that case, the verb will be in the singular form, like, and they are also obviously joined with and only, but these two items together they give one and the same idea, or they form one particular thing. Then we will take them as a singular subject. Like for example, we say bread and butter is a wholesome food. So here we have used is for bread and butter. Why we have done that? Because it gives about the entire wholesome food, that these two together make a wholesome food. Here we can say slow and steady wins the race. Now with this when, we have used the word S, alphabet S. That does not mean it is in the plural form, it means it is in the singular form. You know that verb with S is in the singular, without S is in the plural. So here slow and steady wins the race, giving one particular idea that you might be slow, but if you are steady, you will obviously sure shot make the success. Third particular point that you will be writing is, if there are two singular nouns and they refer to one and the same person, then the verb used will be in singular. How will we come to know whether two particular nouns that we are using are referring to one and the same thing or same person? Here we will use another particular topic of language, and that is articles. If we have one single article used with two different nouns, or two different maybe pronouns also, but mostly nouns, then that means those two nouns which have one same article are basically quality or things being talked about one idea, one person only. Like, it will be easy for you to understand with the example. For example, if I say the poet and philosopher is dead. So over here we have used the word is, that is in the singular form. Why? Because we have seen that in the sentence there is only one article, and that is, once in the beginning we have used the definite article, and with that the we have used poet and philosopher. That means that poet and philosopher is one and the same person. So that is why we have used the verb in the singular form. The poet and philosopher is dead. At times, you will see in the sentences that this article is used twice, the poet and the philosopher. Now here when we use this, we know that we have used two articles. That means we are not talking about two qualities of same person. We are here talking about two different people. The poet is one and the philosopher is the another one. So we will use the verb in the plural form, and it will be the poet and the philosopher are dead. Why we have this? Because the definite article shows the definite person they are talking about. So that is why here comes the difference. I have told you, when the sentences are joined with and to singular, we use the word in the plural form. But if those two different words or things are talking about one and the same idea, then the verb will be in singular form. Similarly, when there is one article and two qualities or two things or two different subjects talking about one and the same thing or person, then it will be your singular verb. But when there are two different articles, that means we are talking about two different ideas, things or persons, and then there will be a use of plural verb. Next we see, if two singular nouns are joined with and, but in the beginning or before these particular subjects there is a use of this word each, or you can say every. So over here we are going to use verb in the singular form. Like for example, we see, each and every hour brings us a fresh anxiety. Over here the verb is brings, and as I told you earlier, with s it becomes singular, without s it becomes plural. The formula is totally opposite with rest of the English singular plural. So here when we talk about verbs, it is in the first, in the singular form it is with s, in the plural form it is without s. So each day and each hour, or every day, every hour, basically here we are talking about all of them in their singularities. So that is why we have taken the verb in singular. So here, each day and each hour brings us a fresh anxiety. Now there is another example for after this, which says, if two or more singular nouns or singular subjects are connected with the word or, nor, either or, neither nor. So over here we are going to again use the verb in the singular form, like either Mohan or Sohan is in the wrong. So we don't know who's wrong, but we know out of these two, somebody is wrong, someone is wrong, and that is why we have taken an option either him or him, either Mohan or Sohan. So we have both the things over here, either or. So in this particular case, we will use the verb in the singular form, because we are talking that somebody out of these two, someone out of these two has done the wrong thing or is in the wrong. Another example for this, neither he nor I was mistaken. We are not going to say he and I were. It is going to be neither he nor I was mistaken. Neither he was wrong nor I was wrong, and that is why we have taken both the persons or both the things in singular way, and that is why the verb will be in the singular form. Next example, supposingly, when one of the, if we have two particular qualities or two particular things being talked about, and maybe you can say two nouns or one noun, one pronoun, in that case, if one of the noun or pronoun is joined by or you can say nor, is in the singular form and the other is in the plural form, in that case we are going to use the verb in the plural form, and we are going to place it just near to that particular verb subject or that particular noun which is in the plural form. So that is John, for example, this is John or his brothers are to blame. So over here we have John in the singular form, but after that we have used brothers and we have joined the word with or. So John or his brothers are to blame, and that is why we have taken the verb in the plural form and we have used it near the word or near the noun pronoun which is plural in the sense. So that is why plural verb is used, but it is used just next to the plural word that is there in the sentence already. Supposingly, if two subjects are joined by or nor are of different persons, the verb agrees in person with the subject nearest to it, like either you or he is telling a lie. So over here in the singular form, you will take is that he, you or he. Over here we have taken he in the singular form and we have used the verb in the singular form because we are talking about two different people. But here this is basically a little complex because we have already done with either or you use the singular form. So here if you take this example, it will be very similar to you. It will be more complex for you, more confusing to you. So you can simply take this same idea that with either or you use the singular form. Next is, if two nouns are joined with the word with, or you can say even with as well as. So with and as well as, if the words are joined by these two sentences, the verb agrees with the first noun. That is, the first noun, if the first noun is singular, then the verb must be in the singular, and even if the second noun is in plural form, then also. So with as well as, these two are the words. If we have these two words in the any one of these two words in the sentence, then the verb will agree with the first noun, whether the first noun is in singular or plural. It is not concerned about what is the second noun, whether it is singular, plural, whatever it may be, but we will agree only with the first noun. Like for example, Raman as well as his friend has won the prize. So here we are talking about as well two people, Raman and his friend, both of them. So we should have used the plural form, but since the word has there used over there is as well as, therefore we have taken it in the agreement of the first word, and that is Raman. So Raman is a singular, one particular person, and that is why we have used the verb in the singular form, that is has. It should be Raman has won the prize. We have Raman as well as his friend has won the prize. Similarly, we can say the king with all his ministers was killed. So here we have the word used with, and we are talking about the king. Along with that king, we are also using all his ministers. So all his ministers is definitely plural, but we will talk only about the king, and we'll only take his particular singular plural thing. So we know king is basically a singular word, and that is why we use the word was, which is a singular verb. I hope you know all this was, were, are, being, been. They are all the forms of be, and they are all taken as action words or the verbs, even in the tense also. So the king with all his ministers was killed. So here next is another important thing that most of the children do get confused. A collective noun takes a singular or you can say singular or plural verb according to the sense. It is not that the collective noun will always have a plural noun or always have a plural verb or always have a singular verb. It might have any of them depending on the sense. If the idea of oneness is expressed, if they are taken, the entire collective noun is talking about all the things in it as one particular idea or having one same notion, one particular thought, then the verb is taken in the singular form. But if the individuals in that collection are considered to be of different thought, then the verb is taken into the plural form. Like the most common example of confusion for this is when we talk about the jury, the committee. So here we get confused. We confuse it because we don't know whether to use a singular verb or a plural verb with it. So when the idea of all the members of the jury is same, we will use a singular verb. Like the jury were divided in their opinion. So here the jury is in different thought. All the people members are of different thought, so they are divided, they are into different thoughts. So that is why we have used the word were. We have used jury with the plural form of verb. But if the jury members are all of the same idea, they have done something collectively, then it will be in the singular form. Like the jury has elected its president. So over here, jury has elected its president. Has is the word which shows the singular verb, and we get this idea that jury is one body and they have selected and it has selected its president. So we take it in the singular form. So that is how you can say the idea of collective nouns when expressing one thought or oneness is taken in the singular form. If they are divided, if they show dispersed thoughts or different things within the collection, then they are taken into the plural form. So one most important thing given at the end of the topic over here is either, neither, each, everyone, many a. All these are the terms or words which usually have a singular verb going with them. Either of the two applicants is suitable. We are talking about any one of them can be taken. So it is either of them is suitable. We use the singular verb is. With neither of the two applicant is suitable, none of them is suitable, neither he nor that other one. So in that case, again we'll take is with the word neither. Many a man is tempted by gold. Many a man means out of many people, almost every single person is tempted by gold. So that is why we have talking about many a man, but in the idea of everyone in singularity. So that is how we use the verbs in the plural or the singular form as according to the situation. Quickly have a revision here. When two singular subjects are taken together, joined by the word and, they are showing different particular things, then the verb will be in the singular form, plural form. But when they give one same idea, then it will be taken in the singular form. Like for example, Mohan and Sohan have passed, and the other example is bread and butter is a wholesome food. Next is, if two singular nouns are talking about the same person, they have one same article, the verb will be in the singular. The poet and philosopher is dead. If the article is used twice for two different nouns, pronouns, whatever the thing is, then the verb will also be in the plural. The poet and the philosopher are, you can say, dead. Next is when the two singular nouns are joined by the word and, but before them there is a use of this word each or every. We have a singular noun. For example, each day and each hour brings us a fresh anxiety. Next we have, if we have the use of the word either or, nor, or neither nor, either or. So in that case, we have two or more singular subjects, but we will be taking the verb in the singular form. Like either Mohan or Sohan is in the wrong. And similarly, neither he nor I was mistaken. Next is when we have one particular noun in the singular and the other one in the plural form used joined by the word and, we will use the verb in the plural form and placing it just near to the word that is in plural, like John or his brothers are to blame. So here we have used the plural form of verb are with the plural word, and that is brothers. Next is, we can say when we have the words or sentences joined with the word with as well as, there we use the noun in the singular form according to the verb in the singular form according to the first noun, or if the first noun is in plural, then we will use it accordingly. But usually we place the plural later onwards and singular in the beginning. So obviously the first noun will be in singular, and there we will use the verb in the singular form, like Raman as well as his friend has won the prize, or the king and with all his ministers was killed. So here king is one and we have used the word was. Lastly, collective nouns, when they represent one and the same idea or idea of oneness, they are taken with the singular verb. But when they are shown divided in their thoughts, divided in their will, or they are dispersed, then in that case the collection or the collective noun is taken in the plural form. And besides that, either, neither, each, everyone, many a, these are the common words which are used, and there with these particular words in a sentence we always use a singular verb. So this is all the thing that we have, the various things to consider while using the verb in agreement with the subject. Now here I'll give you some of the sentences in the exercise. Kindly do them according to the verb in agreement of the subject. I hope you will do it, and maybe probably we'll be discussing it later onwards as according to the whatever the answers we get. So I hope you'll do it quickly. This will be like an assignment also. You can even copy it down, the sentences that I give you, and start doing them in your copies as for your revision, as for your understanding the topic. So with this, we'll end up the explanation part here. Now you can do the given exercise.